Alright, so today this is the first part of a multi-part series on my water storage plan. I know there's a lot of information and videos on YouTube and the internet about how you find water and how you treat water and how to have bleach and containers and all that kind of stuff for your water storage plan, but I haven't found a lot of videos where people actually show you, hey, here's my plan and here's me implementing it. So I want to go through today and talk about my particular water storage plan for my family. My family is myself and my wife, two kids, and 2 dogs. I think that's kind of a typical urban environment family. Is usually a wife and kids and a pet maybe. So that's kind of how my plan is structured. And today I want to go through and just sort of show you what's in my plan and how I built it, and then in subsequent videos I'll show you the implementation part. Okay, so for my water storage plan, this is for specifically for drinking water only. I want to make that clear. This is not all the water that I'm storing up is to last my family for 180 days or 6 months. That's the minimum storage plan, is for 6 months. And this is strictly for drinking water only. Okay, it's not for water for cooking with, it's not for water for bathing with or doing laundry. It's strictly drinking only. That being said, my plan is to allot 2 quarts per person per day. I know there's a lot of talk about having a gallon per person per day, but usually the minimum for you to stay hydrated is 2 quarts a day of water. So let's break that down into how many gallons that would be for our family. Okay, so in my family there are 2 adults, my wife and I. That would be 2 quarts for each of us, which will equal 1 U.S. gallon because there's 4 quarts in a gallon. Then there's 2 kids, and they will have 1 U.S. gallon between them, 2 quarts each. And then there's 2 dogs, which will also have 1 U.S. gallon, and that equates to 3 gallons per day for our family, for strictly drinking water only. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably thinking, well, that's not going to be enough. You should have more than that, and that may be true. But like I said, this is strictly for drinking water only. This is not water to be used for brushing your teeth or doing your laundry or cooking, any of that, just drinking only. Alright, so I'm going to need 540 gallons of clean drinking water for us to make it for 180 days. Alright, so for starters, I'm going to utilize my the bathtubs in my home to store some water. I did a video a while back on the WaterBOB, which is a bladder that you put in your tub and fill it up with water, and you can use that for drinking water. So when I did the review on the WaterBOB, there were some things about it I didn't really like. However, in a pinch, it does fulfill a purpose. And it's a pretty cheap liner. It's like $20 each. And in order for you to have the amount of water it will hold, it's really a pretty good value. Some people say a standard bathtub will hold 42 gallons of water. Other people say 50 gallons, some say 60, some say 80, who knows? I don't know. But that's an important thing that you need to know. How much is my bathtub going to hold? How much water am I going to be able to put towards my storage plan based on my bathtub? Here's how you figure that out. Alright, so here's how you figure that out. There's 231 cubic inches in a gallon of water. And just like, any other thing you try to find the volume in, you say length times width times depth. Then you divide that by 231, and that's the capacity of how much water your bathtub will hold. Okay, a standard bathtub in our guest room is 48 inches long by 22 wide by 13 inches deep. Okay, so here's my bathtub, my guest room, and I just went in there with a tape measure and measured it. Now, of course, this is a guesstimate in some cases because most of the time one end of your bathtub is going to be sloped so you can lay down in it. So the bottom of the bathtub is going to have less volume than the top of the bathtub. So if you wanted to factor that in, you could do so by just deducting 5 to 10 gallons of water as you see fit. Since there is a difference between the top of the bathtub and the bottom in terms of the volume and the space, I'm going to just round this off to 55 gallons. It may be slightly more than that or slightly less, but I'm going to round it off to 55. Okay, so that's 55 gallons per bathtub in my home. I have 4 bathtubs in my house. Alright, 4 tubs, they're all the same size. They were all installed at the same time when the house was built new. But just to be safe, I went and measured them, and they were all the same as the first one I measured. So there you have 4 tubs times 55 gallons, and that equals 220 gallons of drinking water in my 4 bathtubs. I also have a garden tub. The garden tub will hold 100 gallons of water. That equates to 320 gallons of the total 540 that I need for my 6 months of drinking water. Okay, I also have 3 55-gallon blue drums that I purchased, which you will see in subsequent videos, to fill up for water storage. So 3 of those equals 165 gallons of water. So with the WaterBOBs in my bathtub and the 3 drum barrels that I have, that equates to 485 gallons of drinking water towards my goal of 540. All I have left to make it to my goal of 540 is I need 55 gallons more. Now for this I could buy another 55-gallon drum. I could buy another, I couldn't really buy another WaterBOB because I only have so many bathtubs. But what I chose to do instead was to purchase some smaller containers, like 5, 6, 7-gallon containers. Okay, so what I chose to do was to purchase 10 6-gallon containers. Now these are just like, they look kind of like plastic gas cans, but they're for water. And the reason I did that was because if you have a lot of water, stored in bulk, like in a 55-gallon drum, it may need to be portable. You may not want to, run down to your basement every time you want a cup of water. You want to be able to fill up something, a jug or a container or whatever, and then take it, to where it's more convenient to use it instead of having to make so many trips. So with that, I've ended up with 545 gallons. Okay, so I wanted to now talk about how much did all this cost. One thing I did not include in this is state tax, because, I don't know where you live and I don't know what your state tax rate may be, so it will be a little bit more than what's shown here, but and also in subsequent videos I will show you, as I'm implementing this, I'll tell you where I got it and all that kind of stuff. Even if you're on a budget, you can still gradually work your way towards having some safe drinking water for your family for, and this of course is a minimum. So this is just drinking water only for 6 months. I could easily, over the course of the next year, double this and have drinking water for a year. But this is just to kind of show you, here's what I did, here's how much I spent, and as these video series goes on, I'll tell you where I got the stuff and where the best deals are, and that kind of thing, so that you can take advantage of the cheaper prices that are available. We just went over my plan for a 6-month supply of safe drinking water for a family of 4 and 2 dogs. Alright, in the next video I will go over and show you the implementation of this. Actually, getting the equipment in and utilizing it and what extra parts you may need and so forth. This is Smart Survival. Thanks for watching and have a great day.